Yes, children, this is the next question. What makes an election democratic? So, here some criterias are given. On that basis, we can decide whether the elections are democratic or non-democratic. So, let's see first. First is everyone should be able to choose, means that everyone should have one vote, and every vote should have equal value, means one vote one person, one vote one value. Second criteria is that there should be something to choose from, means there should be the choices among the people. Parties and candidates should be free to contest elections, means political parties, those who are registered and are willing to contest election, they should be free to contest election. They should not have a need of approval of some leaders of the country. In the same manner, the candidates also should be free to contest election and should offer some real choices to the voters. Means whatever the promises they want practically, they should be free to offer those promises and offers to the voters. Third is the choice should be offered at regular intervals. Means these elections should be conducted uh, in a fixed period of time. These elections in many countries, these elections are conducted in different period of time. Somewhere it is 6 years, somewhere it is 5 years. In India, for the most of the political institutions, the elections are conducted every fifth year. The fourth point is the candidate preferred by the people should get elected. Yes, to whomever the people elect or give vote, that person should be declared as elected and should be able to form the government. The next is election should be conducted in a free and fair manner where people can choose as they really wish. Yes, the election should be free and fair. There should be a institution to keep a check on for conducting free and fair elections, as well as there should not be the use of dirty tricks or use of money and muscle power. Okay, so these are some criterias. On that basis only we can decide whether the elections are uh, democratic or non-democratic. Now, our next question is it good to have political competition? Yes, this is a question of debate. Maybe some could be in favor or some other could be in uh, against the motion. So let's see here what is political competition. Actually, elections are all about political competitions. This competition takes various forms. The most obvious form is the competition among political parties. At the constituency level, it takes the form of competition among several candidates. If there is no competition, elections will become pointless. The people, those who are in favor, they give this argument that if there would not be competition, so elections will become pointless. Beta, in this debate, we will discuss the points for the merits after discussing the demerits. So let's see demerits first. Here, beta, elections basically, when we discuss the demerits of this political competition, so it creates a sense of disunity and party politics or factionalism. Sense of disunity means among there are different kinds of people belonging to different caste and community and religion, and when the elections these competitions are there, some parties are formed on that basis, and it creates disunity among the people in society, and it also creates factionalism in every locality, means voters are divided on that basis only. So it creates factionalism and disunity among the people and in society. Second reason is second demerit of this political competition, that uh, different political parties and leaders often level allegations against one another. Yes, whenever there is an election, So at that time, they put dirty allegations or blames on each other, and in this way they try to defame the people. So this is not good in this political competition. Next point, the next demerit: parties and candidates often use dirty tricks to win elections. Yes, most of the time it is observed, as in first chapter also you have read that in many countries